always, let me officially welcome Malcolm Johnson. But more importantly, Malcolm took me to my first JSU tailgate.
Girls, children of all ages.
Look, Malcolm, we've had
your
some
daddy's
history in the
home.
past.
I gave the keys to the car up. I apologize once again, but it was my fault. We're trying something new. We're going to be trying something new now. We're going to increase the intensity. At least I am. I'm joined by my right-hand man. My Robin to my Batman
was we were going to Gates, and some poor white security guard.
Mike
no, he was a young black gentleman.
Top three side.
Do you have all your passes?
Or
got them all, boss. And just
No,
kept
it's got
on
to be
driving.
Han Solo one.
Well, Han Solo was not a sidekick.
Chewbacca was Han Solo's sidekick.
Okay, you got levels of sidekick.
No, you do not. You do not have
We
levels
stepped
of
right
sidekick.
into the Brent Hazzard yelling show.
Basically, Mick
Right?
Jagger
It's
and
like
Elvis.
immediate.
I'm sorry for Green, but we have passion.
What's the real?
Okay,
Let me tell you this.
I'm sorry.
This guy is so
Yo, you're
funny.
right.
Every time we stop with some
wait.
food,
Sidekicks.
Brent
Top
told everybody,
sidekicks of all
man,
time.
this is the best.
You just saw
Real.
Top Gun.
This doesn't mean I'm 35 people there, right? So when he
Top
got when he left and
sidekicks
went
of all
home and I
time.
drove back through, they said, "Hey man, tell these
Tonto's
people
in
you
the
told
top.
me them were the
up
best
there.
ribs." I said, "Man, I gotta go home."
Robin, I'm gonna say Robin is number one sidekick of all time.
What you eating that
I'm okay with that.
Robin.
Got it. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Fine cooks. Now we are joined
I'm gonna have to Google
today.
sidekicks. Wait, we're gonna get into what we're gonna do. Start trying to increase the energy. You're gonna see a little bit what we do for a living. We're gonna pick. We pre-selected several topics, and we're gonna have 3 minutes each to argue your side.
You do to the
we might
county.
be for the position we're arguing for personally. We might be against it. We just have been assigned positions in debates. Then we might go to the comments. We might need to get to a round 2.
It bothers you when you lose.
But we're going to try to pick up the intensity and show you what we do for a living. But before we do that, I've got to Google this now.
I can be a little
of all time.
litigious. I can be a little edgy.
God, I can't believe
but
we
it's
can only
all
think
about
of
trying to make the community safe.
Chewbacca is the first thing it says. Chewie.
Take a walk.
Samwise Gamgee,
But now,
Lord
if
of
they want to
Rings.
contact you for
Gromit,
you do
Wallace,
federal
and Gromit.
criminal
Goose,
defense.
Top Gun.
You do
Short
civil
round.
war.
Yeah.
Do you do
That's a good
Chancery
one.
Court?
I do.
Cletus Snow,
and
Smokey
you
the
have-
Bandit.
Actually, you're
That's
the negative of your firm.
Same really.
The positive is your wife.
Anyway,
That's right.
She's the brains of that.
She's the brains of the outfit. And she, we have Mumford
saying
Tiger.
Rick and Morty. Morty's new.
So if you're looking to
Rick
buy
and
a
Morty's
house,
new.
put
I
our
watched
name
some
on
of it
the
after
contract.
you and Rick
Say
told me to watch
you
it.
want
Yeah, if
to
you've
close
not
Mumford
checked
Tiger.
out Rick
Now,
and
how do
Morty,
they
it's a great
contact you and your
cartoon.
lovely
I did watch
wife?
Pickle
They
Rick.
contact us
Pickle
both
Rick
at the
is
same
great.
number.
I did touch you.
Different
But anyway,
lines,
let's
but
get
it's
into it.
601
We're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It's going to go. Whoever goes first will alternate going back and forth.
Many people don't
We do want your
realize that
comments
they have
on the
a
topics
choice
while I
with
toss the
whom the
coin. The
company
first
they
topic
close
of the
with.
evening. City
Banks will
Council.
have preferences.
Who's to blame?
Realtors
Oh,
will
excuse
have
me. Who's to
preferences,
blame
but it's your loan,
for the
it's your money,
garbage
you can choose
fiasco?
who closes your loan.
City
And
Council
Mumford
mayor.
Tiger, we're going to take care of
I
you.
have
treat
City
like
Council,
family.
you have mayor.
And when you
Yes.
use us, you can call us.
Call it in there. Hang on, call it in there.
Heads.
Like a wheel.
Like a wheel.
Power of attorney.
I'm going to let you go.
Yeah,
I thought, no. I think you go
okay,
first.
but here's a serious question.
Heads
I'm
up.
looking at
Heads
this.
My option in my show.
You just want me to go
Real
first.
estate.
No, that's fine. Let the leader. You're right.
Do you buy
Batman
now,
goes
or do
first.
you
Robin
wait?
stays in the
Or
car.
what are you seeing in the market?
Okay, hang
People
on.
watching this and they're
Little
thinking,
sound check.
because a lot of people are
This is a
saying
new
you
concept
go
that might
now
completely suck.
because they're
but
going to
I think
continue
we've
to
hit our
rise.
bottom.
I'm holding
I think it's
off
only
a little
going up
bit.
now. I think the
feel like some
market.
properties getting 2 or 3 days. What would you recommend, or what do you see, or is it case by case?
Well, I see some inflation in the market. I see housing prices balloon right now, but I thought I read where the Fed is going to hike interest rates even more
In
to
December.
curb inflation. So
Yes.
what that means is the cost of the loan is going to be more. And so I would encourage you to buy now. You can always refinance later. We saw interest rates of 3% and 4%, and houses were flying off the market, and that is what has caused us to be, become inflationary.
Well, yeah, and that's where I am. I didn't want to buy a house that was overvalued, but then, if you're, as you know, is what we do for a living. We get paid in lump sums usually. So knowing that, I was going to, wait a little bit till the market cooled off. But call Mr. Mumford, and you can discuss your options. It's better to shop around and see if you can find a good buy at this housing market right now. But back, what I want to talk to you gentlemen about, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir. Well, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Now, you're going to have to answer this question before we move forward.
Okay.
Are you swag?
I'm more swag now. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon.
It ain't no now.
Jump on the
you either
bandwagon.
swag or you're not. Gerald, are you swag?
Swag.
Oh, look.
Gerald is swag. Now, Brent.
Look.
Brent, before we can go forward this show.
With the caveat.
That's right. Are you swag? Now, you ate the swag.
No, I heard that.
You ate ribs, turkey necks, sausage, polar sausage.
That's Greenville, okay? That's just what we have in Greenville on a Tuesday. Come on now. No.
Are you swag, man?
No, I'll tell you this.
I mean, I want to know, man. I don't want to be sitting up in here with no ACC.
No.
I don't want to be sitting here with no Pac-12.
Oh, you sitting up here with SEC. Let's get real.
I ain't got to. Are you swag, man?
I'm SEC.
Are you swag, man? Are you swag? Are you swag, man?
Let me look.
You got to say it. Say, I am swag.
I'm going to say this to the camera right there. If you have not gone to a Jackson State tailgate, the difference is now, Mr. Mumford, you've been to Jackson State tailgate this year. Have you been? When's the last time you went to Ole Miss tailgate?
It's been many years.
Many years. You graduated from the University of Southern Mississippi.
I did.
Have you been down there? I mean, you've got kids, so I understand you're busy. Coaching,
I haven't been down to a game this year. I've been planning to go, but I just hadn't made it. Just too busy. Just enjoying this Deion Sanders renaissance.
Yeah.
I mean,
have you been to a state game lately? I have not been to a
been
state
several years.
Yeah, I've been decades. The golf carts. I have not seen the golf carts at the Mississippi States or Ole Misses. That was something that I'm going to have to steal. Now, the speakers. They had DJs. Once again, I haven't been to Ole Miss in 10 years, so I don't like crowds. So it was.
But you weren't around no crowd. You just
No. We had it nice.
he was around family.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, I went to go see game day with this guy. Next thing I'm like, hey, dude, we've been here an hour. We gonna see game day? Or we gonna drive that?
I said we'll get over there after a while. Tell him, Ray. I said we'll get over. Did we get over there on time?
Yeah. And what would you give Jackson State and the city of Jackson for its Saturday performance?
Let me tell you, I would give. Let me just be straight.
Okay.
I would give the people, the 10,000 plus people that came out and represented Jackson, black, white, Democrat, Republican, even the Clemson fans. You seen all them Clemson fans there?
See, he was talking Clemson fans to me. I was like, are you having a stroke? Ain't no damn Clemson fans.
And then what happened? You stumbled.
ACC.
Yeah, they was out there.
Yeah.
So I said that to say that I would give that an A+. I would give the way the people act Saturday good. I asked the Lord on Facebook to hold the rain. Deion said he asked the Lord to hold the rain till game day was over. Guess what? It did not rain until the first quarter of the game. So my prayer was answered.
Oh, no, look.
I didn't want game day to be out in the lightning. You know, we live on TV and it's lightning and people running. And then they go to boom, 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 boom.
One of the things I was worried about, because it showed during like 1 o'clock, 70% rain.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a beautiful day. If anybody out there is talking or thinking about going to a Jackson State game, I highly recommend it. Now, to the tailgating. I still have issues going to any sports game.
You're going because I hear the SWAC championship may be in Jackson, and so we're gonna go and we're gonna have
I pace too much during games. Can you watch a whole game,
brother? Look.
Oh hell no! I pace. I walk. I have to get away from people. I am horrible in crowds.
Let me tell you something, brother. I'm gonna tell you this, and I want to say this for the people to know. Mr. Brent Hazzard is a wonderful person.
Not really.
Let me tell you this.
I mean, Mumford.
Gerald,
you're a good guy.
He finally got to saw how many people I was related to Saturday. How many people called me their cousin, bro?
Oh, no, everybody. You're one of the most popular. Like I said, start off with you.
Brent say, man, you kin to everybody. I said, man, her mother, my mother's sisters. He's like, oh, my God, are you serious? But you know what I like about Brent the most, though? Real talk. When you eat, you know what he does? He don't move until he finishes eating and then he washes his hands. He not like Gerald Mumford. He don't eat and then touch your shirt and rub it on your shirt.
I think let you talk that way.
Brent is like the most. He's like so neat when he eats.
No, dude,
I got 2 polar sausages in my hand and mustard all upside my ear trying to eat the polar sausage. And he's like, He's acting like a white man, like in this restaurant in New York. Yeah, I'm like, he's like, look.
Cause no. Here's what it is. Anybody who tailgates knows you gotta eat when you can because you're moving. You don't be walking around messy, and you have a limited amount of paper towel out there.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you don't know who I might run up on the Hinds County attorney.
That's right.
But there was
everybody know you though, Brent. Man, so many people were just like walking up like, hey, Brent, what do you do? We saw Raphael Green.
Oh, Ralph.
Attorney Green, another young attorney.
Sellers, Attorney Chris Espy.
John Hall. Yeah, there's so many people that they know Brent. Nobody know me.
Or whatever.
It was like, hey, Brent. Okay. They reaching across me. Hey, Brent.
I'm going to give the city of Jackson State game day A+. Okay?
I'm going to give, let me tell you what I don't like.
Go ahead.
I did not like how the news tried to pretend that 10 cars got broken and it was the end of the world. I did not like that. But I'm glad that Rankin County Sheriff Department was out there.
Yeah,
brother, let me tell you something. Now, that crap about police cameras, we going to get them. If you put police presence anywhere, what happened when Rankin County got down in that area down there where people had been, I guess they had been opening the gate, coming in. But what happened, Brent?
Well, that stopped.
It stopped.
I mean, if you get
no problems.
And I'm going to give the city of Jackson because of, like you said, I'm going to give them an A-. You got to take some points off. But it was a great showing. What would you give game day the effort?
I would give it an A+.
Okay.
People came out not knowing that it wasn't going to rain.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there were 53,000 fans there, knowing it's going to rain, and I think we did great. I think the city did great. The water held up. City police officers. I saw Mississippi Wildlife, Game and Fisheries officers there.
Why can't we Why can't we do that every event?
Well, I think it's going to happen now. Capitol Police is here in town.
Yes, sir.
They're giving us a bunch of cases. They're arresting folks in the Capital Improvement District, left and right. They
arrested somebody now.
They are making a bunch of arrests. They're keeping us really, really busy, and those cases come to county court.
Okay, more importantly, and for those who do not know what you do as county attorney, what do you do?
So the first thing we do is we prosecute in justice court. So if you get a ticket by the Capitol Police, you get stopped by the Capitol Police, you get a ticket on the interstate, sheriff's department, troopers, that's going to be handled in justice court. Every single day, we are prosecuting on behalf of the state in youth court, where we're doing a great job. You saw where we came from under the consent decree. It's been there for the last 10, 15 years. So doing a good job.
Now, the consent decree was where the federal court got involved to ensure due process for everybody, to simplify.
And that's right. The consent decree for the youth detention center, not to be confused with the sheriff's department or the
Raymond County Detention Center.
There you go. And so we do that. We do preliminary hearings in county court in front of Judge McDaniels. We also do preliminary hearings in city court. We have them every week. So we're very busy. You mentioned Raphael. He's one of our assistants.
Is he?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Great job.
Now, how many people, for those who do not know, how many people are under you as an assistant county prosecutor?
Well, we have 6 prosecutors and a legal assistant. And we're busy. We don't have our private firms. But these folks are giving back to the county and the state of Mississippi and help keep us safe.
Brett, let me say this right here. I'm glad that Attorney Mumford is speaking on that office. And it's time also that we add the county prosecutors, the county attorney's office to the list of entities in the county that need more money. You know, when the Capitol Police bring an additional 100 arrests, 50 arrests a weekend, that means that 40 of those people gonna need a public defender, am I right? And Gerald and his people, Mumford and his people, gonna have to do what? Prosecute those cases. So it is time, Hinds County, that we go to the remodeling and get that department within the how many assistants you got?
Assistants.
I think you need 12. What the Capitol Police is getting ready to do, because they finna hire 100 new police officers in the next legislature in January.
This is what I see.
So you need at least 12.
I see them expanding their territory.
Yeah, they're going out. They said that once they got 100 more officers, they was going out.
Well, I think what's shocking people
Yeah.
is how well everybody, Sheriff Jones is working with them quite well. Your office is working with them. I think, there's differences, obviously. But like you said, you had Rankin County out at JSU. People are realizing there's more commonality there and that we can all need. There's only one city of Jackson. There's only one capital. But now,
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Do you agree with that the legislators getting ready to have a special call meeting about $1 billion project?
$2.5 billion.
Yeah, they finna empty the damn bank account, ain't they?
No, that's not going to be, in my opinion, it's not going to be giving them money. It's going to be tax breaks.
Okay,
and what disappoints
like
me,
Continental Tires.
Yeah, and Nissan. What kills me, though, is no one's ever done a study. Everyone talks about how great Nissan is, but no one's talked about what if we invested that money into the poorest counties, into
those
education of jobs. Would we get off? But I mean, it's not like we're investing money. We're just not charging them taxes.
Gotcha.
Well, it's more than that. It's also investment in infrastructure.
Correct?
Yeah.
So instead of sending $50 million to hire
a Washington County public school system.
I think the company said they're going to hire 1,000 people.
Yeah, so
93,000 a year.
So you got to say, look, $50 million for 1,000 jobs. Well, we need that money here for our infrastructure here in Hinds County.
That's right.
So my argument is this. Let's invest in Hinds County and Jackson with that infrastructure money, the same as you're doing in North Mississippi.
Well, see, and coming from the Delta, this is what I'd like to see. It's got to be a balance, I think. But I would like to see when those companies do come off those tax breaks, that your lower 10% of your lowest 10 counties get paid first. Because, I mean, someone like Sharkey's never going to get that.
Yeah.
Someone like
Bolivar County
is not going to get that. So we got to realize, like we're realizing in the metro area, we're only as strong as the weakest link.
That's right.
And then, if we're having water issues in Jackson, it's going to affect the Mississippi Supreme Court. So we have to create something where we all come up and not forget just now this one's going into Golden Triangle, which I hear
Columbus.
Columbus, West Point area.
Yeah, and I hear great
Tupelo,
things.
yeah.
So, I mean, and supposedly, let's give credit where credit is due. It's Tate Reeves. But what I want to get into...
Say that name again.
Tate Reeves.
The governor, Tate Reeves, sir.
I'm sorry.
You're supposed to say Governor Reeves.
I'm not a big fan.
He is not swag.
I am. You told me...
You saw the sign.
You told me he was asking for tickets. Did he make an appearance?
Well, he said if it didn't rain, so it rained. So that was the right day. That was the right day not to come.
But let me say this for anybody out there: go out there now. Should we, as a community, Malcolm, should we start help fundraising because I'm sure you know this, but for those who are at home, the universities don't pay coaches.
That's right.
It's the Athletic Foundation.
That's right.
And the Alumni Association.
Yeah.
Should we start helping raise money to keep Dion here?
Well, let me just say this right here. Do you know Jackson State yearly dues alumni is $50 a year? So I found out on Facebook from the alumni one of the people that collect the money last night. And they said that the alumni dues was $50 a year. If you just collecting $50 a year from alumni, and all alumni not playing, you can't hire you can't hire a tennis coach for Jackson State.
I mean, I saw hope Saturday. I saw excitement.
Yeah, you saw, but you got to understand that the spirit of giving is not in the SWAC.
No. But what I'm saying is,
it's not there, bro.
You've got now Clemson. Do you know about Clemson IPTAY?
No.
For those who do not know, Clemson's one of the powerhouses this year. They were the secondary school in South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina was the university, and then Clemson was agriculture.
Down on the corner of Georgia, yeah.
And they started IPTAY. I pay $10 a year.
Okay. 10 what?
$10. And they basically said what you said. If everybody could just give $10 a year, just 10, that'll be a start. And they started it, and now they're one of the premier programs. But what I'm talking about is what we need to recognize is Dion.
But I got a quote. Who gonna watch the money at Jackson State?
No. Look,
shit, they had a president. They say got the $40 million got lost.
Like I said,
I know, but you got to have somebody watching the money.
Lane Kiffin is making $7.75 million.
Yeah,
Most
but
of
guess
that's
what?
alumni.
But guess what?
Hold on.
Walmart.
It's not just alumni. And Jackson State, although they may not have the same alumni base that Ole Miss has.
No, hell no.
But you know what? When you left the game Saturday, I saw a lot of folks at Manship.
Oh, no, that's where I'm going.
Yeah. Saw a lot of folks at different restaurants around town.
And Fontra.
Those folks,
Fontra making the money.
Those folks should be giving money to Jackson State. Say, look, Dion is good for business.
And that's what
he's saying.
We need to resort raising, not because I'm sweating. And look, I heard 3 or 4 people scream at me, "You ain't sweating," and that's fine. You know, I know what they were saying. They don't want no band. You know, I mean, Malcolm's the type of guy who, as soon as the Golden State Warriors won something, he got the jersey. You that type of guy? You that guy?
Patriot folks. You know,
Patriot.
You got some Cowboys and Steelers. Now, so man, I've been a Patriot all my life.
All my life. I go back.
You know, the year the Saints won the Super Bowl.
What?
The year the Saints won the Super Bowl, man, I swear, people that I knew were 49er, Jerry Rice, they used to have Joe Montana jerseys. The day after the Super Bowl, they had it on Breeze T-shirts with Breeze on them.
Starter jackets. Okay?
Yeah, I didn't know you liked the Saints. Man, the Saints. Look,
can't find them now.
Everybody in my guess where they at now?
Where?
They ain't sweat.
But no, this is. But back to what Mumford said. This is what we need to do. I need to see C-Spire donate.
That's right.
I need to see.
To what
Baptist.
though? What you doing with?
You've got to go to the way to do it legally. And Mr. Mumford played at USCM, so you can correct me. You've got.
It's a line. And then we had to take over.
Yeah, the alumni.
But that's the problem. Dion stuck at 300 because we ain't adding nothing to it.
Well, that's why now
Brent, let me tell you something,
He's
Brent.
got a percentage of
our people. I'm talking about us. We just not. We ain't like that.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is we've got to understand.
See, let me tell you how y'all do it. You see how Brett Favre them were doing it. They
Don't you glad I have my own show?
No. I mean, they do. You know that y'all do it a little different.
We got to take a break.
Y'all do it a little different.
We're going to come back, and Malcolm's going to tell us how differently we are, and vice versa. We'll be right back to this break.
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David. Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his 5 senses to explore the world around him. Your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.
We're back, the Brent Hazzard Show, going back to Malcolm. Malcolm, you were talking about the differences between white universities and HBCU.
Well, let me just say this. Who owned FedEx?
Oh, that's Fred Smith.
All right, where did he go to college?
My understanding it's the University of Mississippi. I know his daughter did because he was there when I was
Where did the Ross Barnett family go to college?
I don't know.
Ole Miss.
I know who.
All of the Raw Judy.
No, here's the names.
I'm just saying.
The names are Dickie Scruggs.
Ole Miss.
A lot of tobacco attorneys.
Ole Miss.
Who's the guy out there in Florence? Crimes Pittman's one. All the tobacco attorneys are working.
Listen, man, Archie Manning.
No, they're not. They're not.
They give money, brother.
He's a name.
He give money.
But argue. I mean, the money with that family is Eli and Peyton.
Well, the dad had money.
What is
influence?
What is the main one who made more money and more?
Danny Cupid.
Not Danny Cupid. Dan Cupid State.
Okay.
Danny Cupid. Now, let me tell you a quick story about. Danny's an attorney in town. He might not want to know this. He was so bad in asbestos in the 80s. GM, rumor has it, GM and Chevrolet walked up to him and said, "Here's $100 million. Stop suing us."
Wow.
And he took it. He took his. Oh yeah, exactly. And then he took his cases and gave them to his friend.
Oh man! And then they started suing.
$300 million. God,
Florence.
It's the guy who was the number one guy when the market went down. He made more money than Scruggs. God, I can't believe I can see. David Nutt.
Yeah, David Nutt. Yeah, my guy used to do his lawn.
Okay.
My guy Draven McCall was his lawn guy.
He was reportedly $850 million. And then you have like the vice president of FedEx, who's a major player at Ole Miss. And then there's some other
Barksdales.
Barksdales are major players. Mm-hmm. Yes. So I mean, but what I'm saying is,
and they are supporters. Barksdale Cadillac, Jackson Cadillac.
Oh yeah, they're big supporters
of Jackson State. So
but you know,
more companies like that.
In our community, our people just not accustomed to giving back once they make it.
Well, it's not custom to give them back because, like I said, we were getting so much free food and stuff like that. It's Mississippi, and it's the same. This is why I disagree with you on the race component there. The reason white people do not support Jackson State because they're worried about the UAB effect on the Ole Miss team. You don't want to.
That's not why. That is
why. There's a race component.
Why the governor won't get the city no money?
Okay, let me ask you this. We're going off on this. I can't say Mississippi does not have the worst racial history in the United States. It does, in my opinion. But do I think people have accused the white people of manipulating Jackson, the water system? No, they're not manipulating. They just don't care. They don't understand. I want to help out people in Jackson, not because it's the right thing to do.
Chris Williams just said it. We give back if we trust the people who controls the money. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. It ain't about.
But what I'm
saying, you got to have somebody watching the money, man.
But I understand that. But what I'm saying is, there's so many CPAs walking around there. Look at what Jackson State's done with Dion. You've got to trust the system. If you're an African American and don't trust Jackson State, who are you going to trust in 2022?
Dion don't trust him. That's why he got a lot of people with him.
I think the president right now at Jackson State's one of the best ones they've had since I've been here. We know the general counsel, Ed Watson. Yeah. And, he used to prosecute.
That's right.
Let me go ahead and say
Hudson.
President Hudson. Let me go ahead and say this, though, quickly. Out of that office you're in position to, or you're running right now, your office, Judge Dwayne Thomas came out that office.
Okay.
Malcolm Harrison, who was appointed circuit court judge, came out that office. Sherry Flowers came out that office.
Judge Brewer
came out that office. That office, and just some names I know there besides Raphael Green, Yumi King,
Crystal Martin.
Judge Martin came out that office.
My hire.
Your hire. No, I mean, that office is a great training ground, and people don't understand that. And what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. You realize you go, and look, I just got through arguing in the Fifth Circuit, second highest court in the world in the United States. Justice Court helped me more than anything. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is you look at the basics and fundamentals and how do we go to the next step. Jackson to grow, Jackson to come back has to go with the 4 hospitals because I've been leaving off Merit Health. I apologize. But then you got to go with Jackson State. Those are your foundations of Jackson that are going to have money people are going to be coming to.
Working jobs, yeah.
And you've got to start investing it. Now, if you can't trust the people, move them out. I think you can trust the current administration. But with that said, you've got to put your money somewhere. But I disagree with what you're saying. The white people in Mississippi say, well, we're going to give to Ole Miss. You can give to Ole Miss and State, but you got to have things going on in Jackson for us to thrive as a state. Yeah. You can't have it just in Oxford. Trent Lott only cared about 2 damn cities. Pascagoula and Oxford, Mississippi. And everybody else, and that's fine maybe in 1950, but we're not competing with Alabama. We're competing with Brazil. We're competing with Argentina. We're competing with Mexico for jobs. And that's what we have to understand. I'm not investing in the SWAC. I'm going to write a $100 check to Jackson State alumni or the Athletic Foundation, whichever one's going to try. And if they don't keep Dion, because I hear, you let me go ahead and hurt y'all's feelings. Yeah. It ain't I am SWAC. You better start saying I am Tech. Because I hear the deal's done. Do you think he's coming back next year or not? What do you think you see?
But that's okay.
Well, yeah, he's done a great job, and I don't blame him.
It's okay.
He's doing one more. He's going to leave after next year, after 23.
Dion has done more for Jackson and the SWAC than anybody in the last
HBCU.
years since Steve McNair.
Walter Payton.
God, man, you start saying 20.
Hey, y'all, let me say this.
Man.
Today, it was 23 years ago today when Walter Payton died. He died November the 1st, 1999.
That should have been the guest picker. Now he would have been older.
Yeah.
But to have sweetness, that's a travesty. Because, the legends of Jackson State, the young kids don't remember Jackie Slater. No. They don't remember Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
They're
Larry White. Big Larry White.
They don't remember those
Louis
guys.
Tillman in my day. Now, I know he's
Ricky
not
Jordan.
fame, but man, that guy could play.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Jordan, that quarterback with the towel. You remember he used to have the towel hanging in front of him?
Everybody had a towel. You had the tape and the stick them. Now, let me ask you this. Where does Dion go?
Dion goes to Georgia Tech. He's perfect. He's going back to Atlanta.
Lord.
Georgia Tech,
I might bust your bubble.
That nice downtown stadium.
Yeah.
The Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Start winning.
Come on now.
Start winning.
His kid could play at Georgia Tech day one.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now,
And Travis
I don't know if Shador starts at Auburn. Auburn got a freshman playing quarterback. Ashford, that boy's nice.
Well, if playing Division I, they're just different levels. and Georgia, LSU, Auburn can have bad years.
Yeah.
They always got the monsters. Right. You see them come off. You heard Lane Kiffin when Ole Miss went to A&M. They said, "Don't look at the other sideline because we ain't got nothing like that."
Man, they said it was 100,000 people there.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's
and Ole Miss gave it to them.
Yeah, but that's what we need to realize. We're not competing anymore.
You didn't ask me what I think prime time is going.
Where you think?
I believe he's going to Stark Vegas.
No.
Now listen. Now if Lane Kiffin takes the Auburn job, let me ask you a question: will Ole Miss take Dion and Oxford?
Hell yeah!
The problem
FedEx gonna make that happen. They'll give him $10 million plus the base of the state.
The problem with that is you try to keep the program going.
They never had a black coach either.
No,
that'd be good for Ole Miss.
Basketball.
Now they had football.
Well, let me go ahead and say this. Y'all, you remember what was the guy from Florida went to Louisville, and then went to Texas? Charlie Strong, yeah. Charlie Strong was the #1 defensive coordinator, and I forgot which coach it was, either Tuberville or after Tuberville or something. And he could not get a job because he married a white woman. And
now he can't get a job because he loses games.
Oh, he loses games.
Dion got a black woman.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
He got a pretty black woman.
Did you hear him after that press conference?
That
asked him, "Are you going to concentrate on Southern next week?" He said, "You see that woman back there?
That dime."
He said, "I'm gonna concentrate on her tonight."
He said, "That ain't what he said." He said, "You see that dime?"
Hey, man, that's PG.
He said, "You see that dime? I got my mind on that dime."
But what I'm saying,
hey, Gerald, let me ask you this, Gerald. If you was doing a media thing like that, and your wife was standing there, and you was in Dion's shoes, would you have said that?
I would have said the same thing. It's a dime. I feel like my wife's a dime, man. Okay? She's watching. Hey, babe.
Can't nobody do it like Gerald, man.
But the thing about it is, Dion. Look, you and I had this conversation. I think Georgia Tech, which is a mid-sized program, is a perfect one.
They got the money.
Dan Mullen sure never left Mississippi State. You go too quick, too fast, you in a blender. And Auburn just ran off the AD.
That's right. African American.
And outed.
Huh? Yeah.
Hired an African American. They did not want. There was a guy named Kevin. First of all, they ran off the guy who's beat Nick Saban more times than anybody on the planet.
Gus Malzahn.
Who won 80%.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah. Well,
he gonna win up at He gonna win up at LSU, I believe. Gus.
Well, you know what?
I think they got a good coach at LSU.
Man, LSU gonna.
You want to go where you control the alumni. The alumni does not control you, and that's what I'm saying. Texas alumni controls you. Florida, you got to be careful there because they're talking about getting rid of their coach.
Yeah, they're
talking
get rid
about
of
buying Jimbo Fisher out at $85 million.
Yeah, I heard.
And what I'm saying is, you want to be.
So who's gonna get the job? Could Deion go to Texas?
Oh, let me go.
You know, he's a Texas
Lane
boy.
Kiffin will go to Texas A&M in a heartbeat for that kind of money.
I can see this.
I would go too for that kind of money.
$85 million.
Florida State has lost 4 games this year.
Yep.
Yeah,
If
he's
that
not
guy
going there.
loses 2 more games,
He out.
Deion could go to Florida State.
He's not going to Florida State.
That's on.
You know, he applied for that job when Bobby Baldwin died.
I want to see him in the ACC. I want to see him successful, and
Brent, you must be ACC. Are you ACC, Brent?
No, but what I'm saying,
You love, man, when you get ACC, Brent agree with you. You call about Mr.
No, but what I'm telling you is this. Someone like State or Ole Miss, he needs to take the secondary jump. And I used to tell this with Orgeron. I mean, look, Deion Sanders is one of the greatest football players ever, and he's got one of the best personalities ever. With that said, one of the closest things when people hear, well, he'll just be the recruiter and get the assistants.
That's right.
You can't just get assistants in 2022 anymore. Ed Orgeron would still be at LSU if that's true. Ed Orgeron can recruit with the best of them.
Yeah.
He couldn't coach, and Orgeron never learned how to be a coordinator. He never learned how to run a program. And those are steps. Not saying Deion cannot do it, but Herman Edwards, a great NFL coach, went to Arizona State. They're just different rules in college.
Well, guess what I heard?
What?
I heard that when Deion get to Mississippi State, he's bringing Terrell Owens and Warren Sapp. And the offensive coordinator going to be the guy from Minnesota. And those other guys going to have...
Mike Zimmerman was a DC. He was a defensive coach for Deion at Dallas.
Yeah, but I'm saying everybody will have a position. Warren Sapp going to be with the linebacker.
What I'm telling you is...
Listen to me.
You don't want that stuff.
Leach going to get fired. Game number 6 next year. They're going to let him go.
You can't fire a guy who goes 8-4. But here's
Mississippi State. That's a successful season.
Yeah, but listen, next year's going to be different.
He's gone this year, Malcolm.
Leach is going. They're going to keep him through the beginning of the season.
Deion is gone this year.
No, brother.
The deal
They're going
is
to come
cut.
back. It's 23. His contract say through 23.
Sunshine.
Oh, he got to pay $300,000 fine.
He won't pay it. He won't.
They'll give $600 for that one.
Cousin, these alumni around here are buying out contracts like they're water.
Wow.
And that's why they're guaranteed. The guy who was rumored to go to LSU, who had one good year, Mel Tucker at Michigan State. Right. He had one good year, $85 million.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna get that in no swag.
$100 million. He getting $10 million a year, and that set the stage. So Saban said, "Look at Mel Tucker."
Well, no, Saban's got
12.
Saban's got his contract. I will be the highest paid coach in this.
That's why I feel like Deion going to the SEC. I feel like, listen, y'all. It's just something about the SEC is the god of football in college.
But there's no doubt. Well, I mean,
you want to be. Listen, he could go to Vanderbilt.
No,
and turn a program around.
And that's what I'm saying. You don't want to go. I don't think the alumni.
He turned around Jackson State.
I don't want to have to shift for Vanderbilt every Saturday, man. That's too much stress.
But what I'm saying is his next step.
You crazy?
His next step needs to be like a Texas Tech. Or something where
Mid.
Yeah, I mean
Memphis, University of Memphis.
Where he's bigger than the university.
Correct, and where he can learn because each step.
Well, no, not
learn.
Because see, some folks thought he wasn't ready for the Jack State job because he hadn't coached any college.
Yeah,
Deion's personality is one of a kind. I mean, it's one of a kind.
But man, going against something
he's an entertainer.
He won this season in recruiting. Okay, and what I'm saying is,
did you hear what the man said today? He say, this rapper got killed in Houston.
Yeah,
he talked to his guys. He said, hey, when we get to Houston, we're not leaving at the hotel. Matter of fact, we're going to have room service to bring your food to the room. When we leave out the hotel, we're going to go downstairs and get on the bus.
But what I'm telling you, and this is so Mississippi.
But guess what he said?
This is so Mississippi. This is like when people are like, well, Ole Miss win the national championship. Deion's a phenomenon. Nick Saban ain't going anywhere. Deion's a phenomenon. Kirby Smart ain't going to forget how to coach. Deion's a phenomenon. Clemson's still going to be Clemson. Deion's a phenomenon.
But Deion,
Ohio State's going to be Ohio State.
Let me say this. When Deion get them boosters they got, he gonna have 5-star line.
I'm not saying that.
5 wide receivers.
I'm saying it's gonna be like when Urban Meyer went to the NFL. It's a different level. And what I'm saying is, why I'm not saying you have to teach a man.
It's about recruiting, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Warren Sapp.
Right.
Warren Sapp gonna go to Florida.
Those guys aren't gonna work. You don't need Warren Sapp. You don't need an all-star team. What you need is some grinders.
What young defensive lineman can say no to Warren Sapp?
Nobody.
Warren Sapp is a Hall of Famer.
Brother, Terrell Owens walk into school in St. Louis, and they got a 6'7" guy with braids and gold teeth, and they say, he's the #1 wide receiver in the country.
It's not that.
Terrell Owens said, man, go you a mink coat.
Okay, first of all.
What's going to happen,
First of all, y'all's theory, was Magic Johnson a good coach?
No.
Magic Johnson a good coach?
No, he's a good point guard.
Good record.
Because he can't teach greatness. He was just like, do it.
Deion say he don't want to coach pro.
Because he's an exception. But what I'm telling you is, you like the great ones. Like the reason the great ones can't coach is because they see something. You need the grinders like a Steve Kerr. You need the grinders who will be out there. Steve Nash got fired today.
Who?
Steve Nash.
Head coach.
For real?
Yeah, got fired today.
I ain't heard
They're
that.
going to hire the Boston coach who was suspended for some entanglements.
Yeah.
They're going to suspend.
He need a good lawyer, Gerald. We may need
Boston suspended him. I don't think the NBA did.
No. He's going to start He's going to start 2 days.
Okay. So it's true.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The alone.
Yeah. Day or whatever.
Hey, somebody, Chris Williams say, if that's the case, why the Miami Hurricanes isn't winning championships anymore?
Because, and that's what I'm telling you, the problem is they got one, the field has been leveled with TV, but two, it's about tweeting. Warren Sapp, you think Warren Sapp is going to tweet 100 times a day?
Somebody doing it for him.
Well, a 17-year-old, just get the guys doing it for him. You just need a couple major stars. Deion needs grinders. He's your star.
Yeah, he need people to get to work.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And that's what he's doing now. He don't know the plays.
He needs to learn.
Deion is on the sideline talking. He got a microphone on him. Hey y'all, take the drone down.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not co-signing on that. I'm not.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is,
somebody told me now. This is what I heard. Say it's a white man up in the press box, and guess what he's doing? Calling the plays. They say, what's number 2 name? Shadur got a earpiece.
He's a white offensive coordinator, so there's nothing wrong with that.
No. But what I'm saying, it's not football that you have to worry about.
It's the office.
It's leadership. It's leadership.
It's how to work with the professors. When you're growing up, like a friend of mine transferred from Ohio State to Ole Miss. I said, what's the biggest difference? He said, at Ole Miss, we just make schedules. At Ohio State, you have to get the bus schedule out. Because you're dealing with 100,000 people. And it's just a different, not saying he won't be able to handle it, not saying he won't be able to do it, but what I'm saying is Jimbo Fisher knew what the hell was going on at one point, and they saying he's got to clear out his whole staff next year.
Wow. People say, I got some friends from Florida State, they said Jimbo Fisher's, look at his record without Jameis Winston, is really, really bad.
Totally.
Well, let me ask you this. You asked Gerald and you asked me, where do we think Deion was going?
The deal's cut, Georgia Tech.
So you think he won't be back next year?
The deal is okay. I got sources.
Do you think
I got sources, and I think you know a few of them. Deion, and y'all can dispute this if you want, or let me know. Deion Monday said, "Let me address one rumor. Am I leaving?" He said, "Yes." He said, "When?" I don't know yet.
He said that.
He said that.
Yeah,
okay.
and he said it could be tomorrow. It could be in 2 years. It could be. You don't say that.
If you don't mean it.
If you don't mean it. I heard he had a conversation with Georgia Tech. Someone who might know said, Deion walked in and said, I need A, B, C, and D. They said, done.
Yeah, Travis Hunter need a Range Rover.
For years.
Yes.
I could just look at him and say, look, he can turn Atlanta completely out.
That's his home. That's one of the places. Besides, I was worried about a place.
He got condominiums and everything.
Texas. Somewhere in Texas, it would be hard to recruit against him.
Man, you know what? He may take our Majorette from the band, the Mexican guy from Texas. Those guys may go with him.
We're going to take a break right now.
I mean, they may, man.
No. Well, look, and the problem is, I want to talk about who should be the next coach if Deion leaves.
Oh, my God.
I got a couple names. I got a couple names.
You're making this difficult now, man.
We are going to take this break and be right back.
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his 5 senses to explore the world around him. Your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
We're back. It's the Brent Hazzard Show, as always, joined by Malcolm Johnson, and thanks for our guest, Gerald Mumford. Mumford.
Oh, man.
Deion leaves tomorrow, or at the end of the season. Who should Jackson State promote or hire?
Wow.
I've got the answer.
Wow. There's a lot of turmoil down there in Alcorn right now. And I think Fred McNair is a great coach. Now, I know folks are saying, Gerald, come on. He's an Alcornite. I'm just hearing things down there. I'm hearing about some relationship issues. I think he's a great coach.
That would be an interesting hire. I would have to agree with you. He's a great coach.
They won the SWAC East at least 5 times in a row.
He is SWAC.
You cannot replace a Deion with another personality who hasn't had any coaching experience. So the next hire may need to move in a different direction. I'm just saying.
No, Malcolm. Because I've got the answer.
Well, I've got
the solution.
I never thought that
I never thought he was going to leave.
I never thought this would be a conversation we would be having. I was looking forward to next season, following Deion to
I'm going to take Jackson State to the next level with my hire. Okay. I'm taking him to the next level.
Well,
because I disagree with Gerald. I like his logic, and you can't go. Coach McNair is a great coach, like you said. He's dominated his conference. And
would he take the call? Do you think he'd take the call?
Well, you got to take the call. You got to take the call because here's the problem. Alcorn, I think our rural colleges are dying just by where it's easier to drive. People want to have big game days. People want to have events. I mean, get away from HBCUs. I know people at Millsaps and Belhaven, they drive up to Ole Miss State because they want that Saturday. Mm-hmm. And, it's the same thing. If I'm at Valley, I want to go down to Jackson State. I want to have game day.
You know what that we need to do? We need to take him to Alcorn for Soul Bowl in a few weeks.
Yeah.
On the nation.
And let him walk 9 miles.
Oh, I know. I got friends. Y'all act like
the tailgate is nice, but you need to go down to that beautiful campus.
Look.
You ever been down there, Brent?
No, but
very nice.
You ever been to Mississippi Valley campus?
Oh, yeah. I've been going up in Green.
Okay, well, Alcorn is like...
done. Let's do that. And then you say, Fred should be just happy here. I mean, it's a really nice campus.
Oh, no, it's a great little... They support... I think that alumni at Alcorn might be more devoted than Jackson State historically.
Hard. I always tell my folks, my mom would probably leave me at the wheel and replace me with Alcorn. Just saying, man.
But now let me say this. Now, who's the name? Because I got one.
Well... I believe the guy that's at Mississippi Valley that left Jackson State, I believe Jackson State will go hire him and bring him back.
Comedy?
No.
You're talking about
the coach at Mississippi Valley State right now.
This year, man.
It don't matter about winning. He came from Jackson State.
Y'all both wrong. Let me say it. Okay,
that ain't gonna happen.
Because you gotta have a personality.
Do you know James Bell is? Do you remember the name?
I heard Rob J talk about him like a dog the other night on TV, man.
Let me go ahead and help you out. Okay, here's the answer. First, I went and let me show you how I got there. You need a personality.
Yeah.
Because you can get the structure.
Oh, I got it. I know what
I was going to say playmaker. Michael Irvin. Because, he can match Deion. But then you get...
Man, Michael Irvin wouldn't come to Jackson. There's no cocaine here for Michael Irvin.
You get that.
The lids.
I thought you were going to say Shannon Sharp.
No.
Man, y'all are crazy, man.
Here's the answer.
Michael Irvin.
Ray Lewis. Ray coming to Jackson State.
Man.
Sugar Ray would turn it out. He would be disciplined enough to coach. He's mature enough to coach.
No.
He wants to save young men. You're talking about a man from Liberty City. You're talking about a man who might have been arrested and convicted.
You cannot try to
Man, you can't come behind Deion Sanders.
Ray would come here and blow it up.
You know who I really believe? Real talk. You know what I would like to see? I would like to see if Deion leave, Coach Cummings get another shot to come back and finish
back
out.
with Michael.
Well, the man was done wrong.
He was a good coach.
The guy won.
Great guy. He was
knows football.
He knows football. He's a student of the game.
We got to go forward.
Yeah, he was a little slower, but the man was done wrong.
I think he
was done wrong, man.
Athlete to keep the momentum.
And so let me tell you something. When a guy like Deion leave, it's gonna be like
back 2,000 years.
It's gonna be like
that was probably inappropriate. I'm just saying.
No, it's gonna be like a funeral around.
Get a call about this.
Listen, if Deion leave, it's gonna be like a funeral. Everybody's gonna be sad. And
that's why you need that energy.
Come on, Coach Cummings.
No, you need that energy. You need to get another example.
Man, I can't think how what's gonna happen. Man, the Clary Legend gonna rub it in our face. Georgia Tech moves on this street.
But here's the problem, and this is what I'm saying. This is what we need to realize as citizens of Mississippi. Whether we're talking about Deion and what Deion's doing, Deion is just using an asset that was there.
That's right.
Whether we're talking about Kiffin and what Kiffin's using it, he didn't do it at FAU.
He shined it up.
Yes, he wasn't afraid to be great. He wasn't afraid. Both of them came in and said, "We're going to do this, this, and this," and they did it. But I mean, it's not like Deion was doing this over in Texas. It wasn't like he was doing this over in New York. He was doing this in Jackson State because everything was in place.
Yeah, everything. It was the perfect situation.
Yeah.
He was following a high school team called Trinity.
Correct.
As a dad, there was a booster club. They went to practice and encouraged young guys, helped pay tuition for guys, and then they lost the MRE the year they come here.
Yeah.
That's the night when Ashley Robertson went over to the game and saw him and got a chance to speak with him was when Trinity came to MRE a few years ago. But I'm going to say this, what God have for you, what is it, Gerald? It's for you. Deion was listen, the white guy on game day said, Deion, everything you have touched. Right. He said, you even wrote a I Am Swag song and now it's a hit. He said, everything you have touched have prospered.
I would like to see whoever takes Deion schedule a game against Jackson State, home and away. Goes to Georgia Tech, make Georgia Tech come here for a game.
Yeah, he'll do it though. He'll do it and run the score up.
No.
It'll sell out.
But what I'm saying is, someone asked me why Ray would come here and not go to Miami. This is what people, and the same gentleman asked me why isn't Miami winning.
Yeah.
Miami's not winning because they don't have facilities. Miami's not winning because they don't have alumni. Miami's not winning because UCF exists now, USF exists now, Central Florida exists now.
Betterman Cook.
And those are some of the biggest campuses ever in the nation are all right there. So when they used to keep 305 talent on, everybody would know about Ray Lewis from Liberty, Florida now.
Liberty City.
Yeah. But here's the problem. Jackson State is still a division, what we call a Division I AA program at FCC. It's a great learning experience. It's a great, no one, unless they jump 2 or 3 conferences, they're not going to stay their career at Jackson State. They're not going to stay their career at Ole Miss or State. You know, Alabamas are out there, Texas are out there, but you got to accept that and say, you know what, we're going to be the best FCS program, hoping to go to Division I. Because I heard someone, I think it was on Rob J, said, well, Jackson State could go to ACC. No. You make that jump, you get slaughtered. You
won't win a game.
You got to grow.
There's a lot more involved in that. When you reach a major college level, FBS,
yes,
you have to have and fund all of these other programs because of Title IX.
Yes.
You got to have women's polo.
Correct.
You got to have, beach volleyball.
We got a J Sets in the band.
But you're growing. And that's what I'm saying. Georgia Southern made the jump. Appalachian State's made the jump.
North Carolina A&T made the jump.
Yes.
They got the MIC.
And you just have yourself, you have to have a
goal.
And
they became, no, they went up.
And listen,
they left.
We're going to have to have the same conversation about the women's basketball program. Because that lady is leaving. She's done a great job.
Who that?
The Jackson State women's basketball coach.
Oh, Tamika
Reed. She's done a great job. And so folks will be calling her after the season as well.
Totally. And you've got to be always grooming. That's right. You've got to have a list.
You got to have your
But this is my question to you, both of you guys, and I know both of you are statesmen. I want to see. I know you good in your profession. Do you think that Jackson State is at the top in the state of Mississippi right now? We have the Jackson State have the top program. Football program in the state of Mississippi.
At number 10 in the nation.
I understand that. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I'm very serious about it.
Well, okay.
Ole Miss went up, got slaughtered last week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
You're saying Jackson State would have handled LSU?
I'm not saying they would have handled them LSU, but Southern scored on LSU. Southern didn't score on Jackson State.
I'm saying this is
Gerald. Am I right, Gerald?
You're technically right.
Yeah, scored twice on them.
Right.
But
shit, Jackson State didn't let them get a first down.
You're a perfect example.
In the rain.
And like I said, this ain't black or white.
And that's why sports we can always argue about.
Yeah, we having a good time.
Well, yeah, but
it's clean fun.
This is so Mississippi because when Ole Miss was winning, and I was like, guys, we got 3 losses. A 9-3 year to this year. And I had idiots in Oxford saying, we're going all the way, I'm buying my tickets. You're like, no. Dude.
Do you think Sanders will get the Mississippi Conley Award this year?
He's in the running.
Top player.
He's in the
Absolutely.
running.
If they don't give it to him, Deion ought to leave Mississippi.
Ole Miss got a nice little running back.
No, I was just say, Junkin ain't bad. He just had 200 yards.
Yeah.
And I mean,
hey, Brent, if you're going to be swag, man, you got to be swag.
That's right.
You can't be swag on Saturday at the game, eating those people ribs, and then get on the show and then Ole Miss. You got to be, you got to be swag, man.
Let me ask y'all
Who
this.
is swag?
Let me ask you this. Is Sanders better than Rogers at Mississippi State? Rogers is putting up some numbers.
You know what? Sanders is better. Rogers is a product of the system that they run at Mississippi State. Every quarterback
Delta
from
State
Texas Tech has these crazy numbers, and they're gonna still have 4 or 5 losses at the end of the season.
Well, that's Mike Leach's
team. So
I'm just going.
He's going to be invited. I think it's always the last 3. He'll be in the top 3.
He's going to win it though.
Now, you're going to have, my prediction, you're going to have Junkin from Ole Miss, you're going to have Rogers from State, you're going to have Sanders from Jackson State. Now, who wins that?
Sanders wins because he's going to have the championship. So get your tickets ready for the Celebration Bowl.
It wouldn't shock me if he won it, but what I'm saying is...
Hey, Brent, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Go ahead.
If Jackson State go undefeated and go to the Celebration Bowl, then me and you and Gerald will go to the Celebration Bowl. Then you can give us a tour of Georgia Tech. You can go show us.
You know what? It's going to probably start leaking around that time, too.
Yo, it's going to show up.
I'm hoping it won't. So they can continue to win and the kids can keep...
You don't think that'd be cool, Brent?
No, look.
This is what we can do. We go there and get a picture in front of Georgia Tech Stadium, and then we put in the clear letter, Coach Prime's next home.
Well, no, but here's what people need to understand, and especially Mississippi, and I've seen this. It gives you an excuse to travel. It gives you an excuse to see other places. It gives you an excuse to talk about the chemistry building, and that's what people don't understand. Alabama has jumped up academically because of Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And whether it's right or wrong, whether the company in Columbus is getting $2.5 billion, some ways you just got to realize this is how we make money. Football.
Yeah, football. That's it.
And Jackson State needs to keep the momentum, and we as a city, as a metro area, needs to understand having a good Jackson State football is good for all of us. But anyway, we're over time.
We got 3 minutes.
No, it's
thanks for the invitation. Appreciate it.
No, Gerald. If people want to get contact you, how do they contact you,
sir? If you want
to
contact me at 601-398-2347.
We're going to have you back, maybe talk about some judicial election results.
Wow. Not in it.
Let me say this on record. I want the people to know, I want the people in TV land to know that Gerald Mumford is our county attorney, but like Brent said, should be the county prosecutor. And I can say that, man, he runs a very organized, good ship.
You got to have Pater saying...
No. I have to say
one more thing.
He works with the youth. When you work with the youth court...
I appreciate that.
And make sure things... Look, how you think they got out of the decree? This man had to work down there.
I know who he is.
Yeah, okay. I want the people to know.
And I plan to run for re-election.
And I was getting ready to ask you that. Was you planning on running for re-election?
For re-election, county prosecutor.
Well, that shouldn't have been a question.
Now, this is the last question. Are you swag? Gerald, are you swag?
Swag-ish.
You should not have
swag-ish.
Let me tell you. Okay, I know we got to go.
So go ahead. Last words.
Steve Manaire's first game. They played Grambling at the Red River Classic in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Wow.
That's how swag I am. I've been going to all those games as a kid. And so was at the game in 1984. No, I'm not. Okay. I was at the game in the stadium when Alcorn played Valley on a Sunday. Ike Hope was guarding Jerry World Rice at that game.
Yeah.
That's how swag I am, buddy.
Hey, whoa, all world, you know,
Listen.
he married a girl from
Listen to
Greenville,
this.
all world.
Listen.
I don't even talk, I mean,
I'm so swag. Do you remember? Do you remember Steve McNair Jr. year when Jackson State was made to go on the reservation?
Okay.
And the people was parked like 35 miles from the school.
Go. We're running over.
Do you remember that? And then, hold on. I'm so swag. I remember when Ole Miss kicked the ball and the wind blew it back and State won. Do you remember that? Hey, that's the stadium. The Mississippi Memorial Stadium is swag.
I was there.
See what I'm saying?
I was there. I was crying.
You telling on yourself, man.
Because Crosby.
Yeah, Crosby. That's it.
Was going to kick it.
And the wind blew.
We had great tickets. But we were on the state side because my brother's a State fan. And I was crying, and I saw the ball go up.
The ball went in, and then the wind said, whoo, and the wind, it came out.
Oh, yeah. But
that happened, Joe.
I saw the video.
Hey, you know what else? Do you know who else played in Jackson?
Man, I don't even know.
Joe Montana played at the Mississippi Memorial Stadium.
Ole Miss beat them 6-0.
Sure did. Man, that stadium got a lot of history.
Yeah, sure.
And then, for the first time in history, Southern did not score.
We're going to end the show.
Man, let's go extra 10 minutes today, man.
We're gone.
See you next week.
See you next week.